Imagine you have your own private team of mentors who know and love you better than you know yourself. They know your life plan, why you decided to come to Earth, and the experiences you intended to have while you're here. They can see a bit into the future and can advise you on the best course of action to stay on track for your life's purpose. Would you be interested in meeting them? What if I said you could contact them through your intuition? Great! INFJs have excellent intuition. Sign me up. Unfortunately, INFJs are highly driven by their extroverted feeling function. Well, that means their intuition is more naturally attuned to the needs of others, not to themselves, which presents a missed opportunity. In today's video, I'm going to give you 3 methods you can use to attune your intuition to access the guidance of your private mentors. These methods are mini meditations that have a side benefit of providing clarity and validation as you receive personalized direction and communication for all your hopes and dreams. The answers to our life's queries are only as good as the questions themselves, so stick around to the end where I'll show you the best ways to formulate strategic questions to get the most out of your sessions. Hi, it's Andrea with Day Trips Out of the Box, a psychospiritual venue where we come together to break free from the default programs of our minds, step by step, layer by layer, making known the unknown and rewriting the scripts and stories of our lives, all of them by exploring the quantum realm. If you're new here and you find this content helpful to your personal development, please consider subscribing. And hitting the like button will help more unicorns find us here where they can get access to the secrets of free thinking. INFJs are natural caretakers and problem solvers. We can use our introverted intuition function all day long to assess and help everyone in our circle. It's super easy because we have perspective and clarity for what others should do or not do with their lives, and it gives us such great pleasure to help. That's why we're called the counselors. But when it comes to using our intuition to help ourselves, well, that's when the defense mechanisms from the subconscious mind kicks in, causing us to engage in self-doubt and lack of motivation. And then we revert to our habit of people-pleasing and helping others solve their problems again. I realized that having focused on others most of my life, I was drained of the power to create the reality of my own choice. It took me a very long time to learn this lesson and to finally take the tiller of my own emotional well-being and establish good habits of self-reflection. It's from this process I picked up these methods I'm about to teach you. The key is to make ourselves a priority every day. Tune in, set good boundaries for ourselves. With these habits, we soon discover we have the mental bandwidth to realize a whole other world of possibilities we never had the self-esteem to take advantage of. You know what I mean. You see these possibilities in your daydreams, your visions of the future, the perfect reality for you in full color right there in your mind. The only thing standing between those dreams and the steps needed to reach those dreams is your presence and participation in making your well-being a #1 priority. Just imagine having the clarity and motivation for your own life's direction that you have for everyone else to know. Everything from the big picture to the first steps. If you find you can't yet trust yourself to know when to say no to someone else so you can say yes to your own dreams and aspirations, well, it's probably because you're being blindsided by the distortions of the subconscious. Negative self-talk, overthinking, analyzing, and brain fog, which, as we discussed in previous videos, consists of your old childhood programs and dominates your thoughts 90% of the time. And it's not just our own personal subconscious either that creates distortion. Our entire civilization is being challenged with change, creating all sorts of chaos, which muddies the waters of mental clarity for everyone. To bypass this morass, we must take proactive measures. Here are some simple tools that I've used in the last 20 years that I've come to trust to help me navigate any number of real-time scenarios. From is it time to move to LA to is it in my best and highest good to focus on this project now, or is it better for me to rest? I ask this last question because I often feel guilty resting, because of old conditioning. But if I don't rest, I'll burn out. At least this way I get validation and confirmation that I'm indeed doing what's best for me. You see where I'm going with this? So we're going to be covering 3 methods that'll give you immediate access to your guides through your intuition. The first one is muscle testing, the second validation through the heart chakra, and the third one is pendulum. I will have these timestamps so you can jump around or return to any section at your convenience. Using these 3 methods is sacred space that you hold with yourself. It requires presence, focus, and an open mind. The beauty is they don't require a lot of time, and they can be done multiple times throughout the day as needed. It's important to remember as you do these, you're only consulting the higher aspects of yourself. So please don't be misled into thinking that something outside of you is making decisions for you. With that in mind, here are a few other things to consider as I roll out these methods of discernment. 1. Before each session, I recommend getting into a quiet, centered place where you can clear your mind of attachments to an outcome or answer. Attachments, or the need for something to happen, are your ego's way of trying to hijack control. 2. Instead, call out your attachments if you have any, and ask questions about that. Then once that's cleared, surrender to whatever is in your best and highest good. 3. All the methods here give yes or no answers only, but you can ask as many questions as you are guided to in any direction to narrow the field if need be. 4. Start with low-stakes questions until you get confident and build trust with the process. 5. I don't recommend using any of these methods to play the lottery, gamble, to make investment decisions, or inquire about medical or mental health issues. 6. I do highly recommend you set clear intentions before you develop the questions you wish to ask. Ask your guides, angels, or higher self to join you and protect you and ensure that you only get answers that come from the light. 7. If you're feeling a little anxious, depressed, or sad, you may want to surround yourself with white light to protect yourself from dark entities who are attracted to low energy. They love to interfere on the astral level. 8. These methods do not foretell the future. They're best used for issues concerning the present moment only. 9. While I don't recommend using these methods to diagnose physical issues that may be serious, like a toothache, you can use these methods to discern what kind of practitioner or healer would be best to consult. And finally, keep your questions focused on yourself and the actions that you can take around your own life circumstances and relationship dynamics and how you can best participate in your life rather than on others. Remember, we have no control over others' lives or opinions or behaviors, but you can ask the best way to perceive another you have conflict with, for example, and that'll give you some insight. So let's get started. Muscle testing. There's a science called kinesiology developed by a chiropractor that's based on the premise that the body's energy field is connected to quantum realm and holds its own wisdom, and it never lies. The body doesn't rely on the conscious brain to tell it what to do. It's run by an autonomic nervous system, run by the quantum subconscious mind that knows how to function autonomously. Like grow a complete baby from a fertilized egg without the help of any outside influence. I think that's impressive. According to Dolores Cannon, in her quantum healing hypnosis books, she wrote that in some cases, when it was appropriate, the body miraculously healed itself while under the guidance of the higher self during a hypnosis session. The body has the innate ability to heal itself, but because we don't believe it can, it usually won't. We as humans have been conditioned to distrust ourselves and disconnect from nature, and instead rely on external authorities, like doctors, so this ability has been severely weakened. That's why we as a civilization don't readily trust our intuition. It's like believing in witchcraft, and that's just too spooky for most folks. Kinesiologists and chiropractors are doctors too, and they know the language of the body. They rely on this quantum language to tell them what the patient needs through muscle testing. Doing this method reliably will require an open mind from you, as well as some good old-fashioned testing on simple questions. But it's a method that comes in handy, as you always have what you need to use in a pinch: your hands. The idea is that when you ask a question and the answer is yes, your muscles will hold strong. If the answer is no, the muscle will be weak. So here's how you do it. With your non-dominant hand, touch your thumb and forefinger together in a circle. With your dominant hand, you'll be trying to break the bond of the circle with your other hand, also formed as a circle within a circle. Now think of a question you know the answer to, like your name. My name is Andrea. And then try to break the circle. I mean, really try to break through. It should hold together because what you said is true. Now say, my name is Donald Duck. If that's not true, you should be able to break the circle easily. It's a fun, low-stakes way to decide on the best course of action for any given task on the fly, as you always have your hands available whenever you need them. For example, I might ask, is it in the best and highest good that I include muscle testing in this section of my video? Yes. By now I can tell it's right because of how I feel, energized and positive. If I felt flat, unmotivated, or uncertain, I might ask, is it best if I leave muscle testing out of the video, and see what answer I get? It's worth mentioning that I avoid using words like should or ought and so forth, as I always want to do something that is for the best and highest good for me and all concerned. Shoulds imply external authority, and we're learning to rely only on internal authority here. Let us know in the comments if you've ever used muscle testing before and how it works for you. Do you find it reliable? Next, validation through the heart chakra. The external world may call on you to act and show up in ways that don't make sense to your inner sensibility. After all, most people are wired differently than us INFJs. If you ever come to a crossroads where you need to decide on which way to go or what to believe, always consult your heart. Your heart is deeply connected to the quantum portal of your soul, and it will never lie. So here's how to begin. First, get into a comfortable position. Close your eyes. Let your mind relax. Get into your body by feeling the natural vibrations of your hands, or track your breathing. Then place your hand over your heart. It may take a moment or two to settle down and relax. Allow yourself to feel the inner vibrations of your body. You may want to invite etheric helpers with whom you trust. And when you're ready, begin by asking a simple question. Maybe one to see if the heart is ready to respond to you. For example, I might say, please give me a yes response. You may feel a tingly sensation emanating from your heart area through to your hand. Again, it may take a moment. The energy is subtle until you're used to it. You may need to experiment with hand placement or pressure for it to resonate for you. When you've established what yes feels like, ask to be shown what no feels like. The energy will feel flat or like a dark void. No tingly feeling at all. The heart always knows. As you get into the habit of being aware of your body and how it feels, you'll start to feel your intuition come through more clearly and more consistently. Intuition is connected to the quantum realm and holds wisdom and guidance for you whenever you're in doubt. Trust it. It'll never steer you wrong because it is you. It's coming from your higher self. But it does take practice, emotional clearing, and trust. What I mean here is that if you have emotional baggage, fear or anxiety or doubt, you may experience some distortion, like static on a bad radio connection. But that's not a deal breaker. Practice anyway. Your intention and persistence will win out every time. With low-stakes questions, you can build up self-trust and strengthen your ability to discern and get the help you need to heal your pain body. Eventually, as you consult with your heart on every important issue, you'll start to see signs and synchronicities appear in your world telling you you're on the right path. That's you giving yourself a thumbs up. Let us know in the comments if you have experience working with your heart chakra and what you've learned. Do you have any additional tips we can use to make this process even easier? I'll be linking a video by Greg Braden on specific heart-brain coherence exercises if you're interested. I highly recommend him, he's great. Up next, the pendulum. The pendulum is a method I regularly use to get clarity and direction. You can find one of these at any crystal shop or even on Amazon. The pendulum moves via the vibrational frequency radiating from the higher self through the body. This method, like others, takes practice and an open mind. If you're off balance or are attached to an outcome or in fear, you may get too much distortion to get the clarity you need. In that case, it's always best to get yourself centered and cleared before using this device. The pendulum is most reliable when you're off by yourself, undistracted by outside influences or peering eyes. It's meant for you alone. Start by asking your guides to join you and oversee sending you the right answers. Sometimes there may be non-corporeal entities loitering about looking for mischief. Protect yourself in any way that feels right. You can always ask for a veil of light to surround you, if nothing else. So here's how it's done. Hold the pendulum with your thumb and forefinger, or your third finger, whatever feels best, suspended and quiet, while making sure your elbow is securely resting on something stable. Make sure you feel comfortable and relaxed. Take some deep breaths, allowing yourself to become present and calm. Clear your mind. To establish the pendulum's response patterns to the questions, you'll need to ask your guides, either out loud or telepathically, what is a yes response? The pendulum will start to move in either a circular pattern or straight back and forth pattern. Sometimes you may need to nudge it into motion at first to get it going, but then be very still as it settles into its groove. And then ask, what is a no response? The pendulum should change its pattern to reflect a no answer. For me, a no is a counterclockwise circular pattern. Then ask, what is an unsure or unknown answer, or it's not appropriate to answer now response? For me, it's a diagonal swing if I'm unable to access a clear response. I like to start with easy questions I know the answer to. For example, is the pendulum a positive way to get answers from my guides? And then get the pendulum swinging in a yes pattern. And then change course into a no pattern. For example, does using the pendulum mean you're a witch? It becomes a fluid process of having a conversation with my guides, with them using the pendulum to reply to me. I've gotten to the point where I can usually feel the answer intuitively come through me before the pendulum moves, but the movement is so confirming I let it ride. It's really an enjoyable experience. Afterwards, I usually feel very validated and inspired. I have the confidence I need to move forward with my day, knowing I did the most important thing I could do for myself. If you're interested in the history and various applications of pendulums, I'll link a video in the description for your research. Okay, so here's the bonus material, the art of asking questions. Asking the right questions is as key to getting clarity as the answers themselves. After you get the practice questions done, here are a few more tips to get the most out of your sessions. 1. Write all your thoughts, issues, and ideas out, then distill them into concise questions. Because INFJs are prolific overthinkers, we can be easily flooded with too many thoughts and ideas and go off in too many directions. Here you can get clarity on what's important now. 2. There are different levels of questions. You can ask about how to best spend your valuable time and energy in the moment, or what kind of foods your body would benefit from to keep you fit and healthy, or ask if certain foods are not the best for you or cause an allergy. You can ask about whether a certain job, relationship, or course of action is for your highest good, or if it needs modification, or if it should be let go of completely. You can ask about your life's purpose or your path, and if it's appropriate for you to know now, you will get guidance and direction. If you'd like to explore deeper questions that require more than yes or no answers, you can check out Quantum Healing Hypnosis Technique on my website and contact me for a private appointment. With QHHT, you can access your higher self directly, so you can get all your important questions answered in personal detail. If you're at this point in your personal journey, I want to congratulate you. This is a high level of self-mastery, as it takes a large amount of personal responsibility and courage to navigate your own course, even if it's away from the pack. But that's what you came to Earth to do, to find your unique path, fulfill your mission, and shine a light that will inspire us all. I see you and appreciate you for your efforts. Thank you for joining me today for another exploratory adventure into the quantum realm. I look forward to seeing you in my next video when we'll take more day trips out of the box.